So, this weekend is the 30th anniversary of Resident Evil, 30 years of the most iconic survival horror series ever made. We already covered one protagonist from the original game in 1996, now let's do the other. Hello my fellow oddities, and today I'll be ranking every Jill Valentine design from worst to best. And if you haven't already seen it, make sure to check out my every Chris Redfield design ranked worst to best as well. Now, let's reiterate the rules for anyone who didn't see the previous videos. The first rule is that I will only include designs from Resident Evil games. This means no comics, movies, or cartoons, or designs from crossover appearances in other games. The second rule is that I will not be ranking any reused designs, so if a design is brought back in a later title or remake, I will be referring only to the original design in its first appearance. And the third and final rule is no Resident Evil mobile games, only console releases. But without further ado, let's jump right into Jill's 27 designs. Just a disclaimer, 70% of these costumes are absolute hot steamy ass. At number 27, I have the Alpaca Lips outfit from Resident Evil Resistance. So this is how we're starting the video. So it's Jill in her classic Resident Evil 3 Nemesis attire, but she's an anthropomorphic alpaca. A win for the furries, I guess. And I will say, the outfit they have here is much more accurate to the original RE3 Jill than the one we actually got in the remake. That's all I'll say. At number 26, I have the Lucha Libre outfit from Resident Evil Resistance. How many more of these do we have? Yeah, it's Jill in a red Lucha Libre outfit. Should have been blue, the STARS logo is neat, I guess. Why does she have an eye patch? Is that a Lucha Libre thing? I don't know. At number 25, I have Retribution Jill from Resident Evil Resistance. This outfit sucks because it's based on the movie Resident Evil Retribution, and anything that reminds me of a live-action Resident Evil movie is bad. And it's not even Jill's outfit from that movie, cause in that, it's the RE5 suit, and that would actually be good. So instead we get the costume Alice wears. Alice sucks. It's also missing the umbrella logo on the front, which just made the original design pop a little more. At number 24, we have our last, thank God, Resident Evil Resistance outfit, the Wastelands costume. This design is just a mess. If I singled out each of her limbs, none of them would look like they're part of the same design. The head especially is very jarring since there's nothing on it, it's just her regular face and hair. A helmet or at least some black face paint would work. Hell, I'd even take sunglasses. This was an opportunity to have Jill get her own warrior outfit like Chris and RE5. I love when these two have matching outfits, some examples of which you'll see later on, but this is just not it. And also no one ever played this game, so even if it was good, it wouldn't matter. At number 23, I have the white tank top look from the beginning dream sequence of RE3 Remake. I'ma be honest, I don't even know why I included this one. But hey, it got higher than the others, so W tank top Jill. At number 22, I have the Dino outfit from the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. This is a crossover outfit from the game Dino Crisis, never heard of it, and Jill is wearing Regina's uniform. Again, I don't have much attachment to this outfit, so I can only judge it based off it being a Jill design. And yeah, I can tell it's not really meant for her since it doesn't really fit this game or the atmosphere, and it's not even out of place because it looks super wonky or weird. It's just kind of generic armor that when Jill has such a distinct look in this game, I don't know why you'd want to pick it over that unless you are a fan of Dino Crisis. I guess the red hair is nice, but looking at the original Regina from Dino Crisis, they could have made it way more vibrant. I don't know, it's not for me. At number 21, I have the sexy cop outfit from Deadly Silence. This design is just over-sexualized. There's an outfit later on in this list that does this concept much better, and I actually find more attractive because it's not overdoing it. Her shorts are like super short and kind of clipping into her thighs, not sure what's going on there. And the top doesn't even have a police badge on it, so basically the only thing that tells you this is a sexy cop is the hat. So yeah, could have been and is a lot better in a future title we'll get into. At number 20, I have the Pirate Jill from Resident Evil Revelations. This one is kind of disappointing because Chris gets the holy grail of alternate outfits, while Jill gets something not nearly as memorable. It is hot, her makeup and just face in general looks good, but I think it has a bit too much going on with all the colors and decals. She has the letters JV on it, which is just like, what does that have to do with the theme other than telling you it's Jill Valentine? Also, she has a parrot that's on her shoulder at all times, which is a massive W, but then you take a few steps back when you remember Leon in RE6 has a crow instead, which is so much cooler and makes this seem more lame in comparison. It also has the same issue as Samurai Chris from RE6. It has a sword, but I can't use it, and that makes me mad. Not really, it doesn't matter, but it just feels weird. At number 19, I have the army outfit from the RE1 remake. What I don't like about this design are the straps, the hat, and especially the goggles. Get rid of those and it's a serviceable design. Maybe because it looks like Sonya from Mortal Kombat. The goggles maybe could have been cool in a different color, but the bright orange goggles just draw in all your attention and look kinda goofy. I personally would have just removed them entirely and maybe gone with sunglasses or even just regular glasses. I think that would have looked the best. The straps also just seem unnecessary. I would have preferred just a clean green tank top, cause like what are these even holding up? She's wearing a belt. And the hat is just, I don't like it. At number 18, I have the rider design from RE3 Nemesis. Every Resident Evil character needs at least one leather jacket design, and Jill is no exception. But I think they do go a bit too far into the sort of femme fatale look with the big red belt and straps. I also just don't think Jill is a very leather jackety type of character. Not every character needs to be like that, and we already have Leon, Claire, and Chris with that aesthetic. I get it's a product of the time, and they do learn from this by never really putting her in this type of garb again, but it makes me struggle to see Jill when looking at this design. At number 17, I have the casual Jill from the original Resident Evil. Jill struggles a lot more than other characters to have a casual look. I guess there's RE3, but even that doesn't really feel casual in the way some other characters just have normal clothes. They attempted it here in the original, but again, I just don't really see Jill wearing this. A black crop top, a necklace that doesn't go all the way around her neck, which just pisses me off, some gloves which look a bit out of place, and some jeans. The hair is also just not it, man. At number 16, I have a pretty similar outfit from the PC port of Resident Evil. This turns the crop top red, fixes the necklace, thank God, and gives her short shorts with black see-through tights. I like this one a little better, but it's not really that different from the previous one. And why does it look like she has a mustache? At number 15, I have the blue and black casual design from RE3 Nemesis. This is definitely the best out of the bunch cause it's blue and that's her color. And yeah, it looks nice. Kind of basic with just a blue denim top and some black pants, but what can you say? It's a casual outfit. It's not going to be Shredder Sub-Zero. At number 14, I have the RE3 version of the sexy cop uniform. I like this one much more than the RE1 version, much less sexualized, which makes it more sexy to me personally. It has a skirt instead of booty shorts, it has a badge, it has this patch on the side, and it just looks good. And this outfit, despite being mostly for sex appeal, is a little more fitting to Jill as a character compared to Pirates, Nacho Libre, and whatever stuff we had earlier, freaking Alpaca Jill. So even though it's obviously silly like those ones, at least it fits Jill's character as a police lady. At number 13, I have the dancer outfit from RE3 Nemesis. For whatever reason, this outfit, despite being goofy and not really having any of her core characteristics, I just really see Jill wearing this. I don't know what it is, it just feels like Jill. I think it might be because it looks a little bit more like a businesswoman rather than disco dancer lady, and that's just an aesthetic that Jill absolutely rocks, and she does look pretty freaking dashing in this costume. I do wish the little red parts were blue maybe, and then I could really call it peak, but it's fine. It was a stupid alternate costume that really hit for some reason. They weren't trying to create something groundbreaking here. At number 12, I have the green Jill outfit from the Sega Saturn port of the original Resident Evil. This is just her STARS uniform, but for some reason the parts that were dark blue are now green. It's still Jill STARS uniform, and that's enough to get it above most of the designs on this list, but just why? This is so much worse. At number 11, I have the blue casual Jill from RE3 Nemesis. This is kind of just her base outfit, but with a blue skirt, and the top is a tank top, not a tube top. And it looks good, but it's just a bit too much blue. There is the white thing wrapped around her waist that breaks it up a little bit, but I feel like this needed to be separated into two different colors for the skirt and the shirt. Oh wow, and our savior is here, because at number 10, I have the black casual outfit from the same game. Now this one is slightly different besides the color since it's not a tank top anymore, but it's pretty much the same thing, just with a black top. I would have preferred a blue top with a black skirt, but at that point you just have the default and you wonder what you've been doing with your whole life. But this does look good too. I like the boots, and the necklace really makes the solid black top pop a bit more, although it doesn't go all the way around her neck again. At number 9, I have the button-up outfit from the director's cut of the original Resident Evil. I don't know what it is about this one, I just think it looks really good. On the back it has a STARS logo which looks super cool, it's got a nice blue outline around the white, it's sleeveless with gloves, and the pants look really good. I like the two black belts. She's also just rocking that hair, I love it. I'm not really sure what the inspiration is with this design or what it's meant to be, or maybe it's just some random fit, but I can't lie. They cooked. At number 8, finally, we're covering a real Jill design. How it took this long, I have no idea, but here I have the Revelations wetsuit. This is pretty similar to her RE5 design, but it's on the normal Jill and not Weskerfied Jill. A little bit of it is functionality with her being
under the water,
but it's mostly just for sex appeal. I really don't like this part right above her knee because it makes her look like an action figure with like different segments for her thighs and legs, if you know what I mean. But I think the blue looks nice, and so does her hair. I will say with Revelations Jill, especially on this design since the other ones cover it up, her face kind of unnerves me because it looks like Julia Voth, but it's not Julia Voth, it's just some other girl who looks like her. So I get kind of Uncanny Valley vibes from her face. Not because the actress is ugly or they did a bad job modeling her, but I'm just expecting Julia Voth's face, and it's just not. I think this does go quite well with Chris's diver suit though, and speaking of which, at number 7 I have the winter suit from Umbrella Chronicles. This is a prime example of Jill and Chris having matching designs and them just elevating each other. I forgot to mention it in my Chris designs ranked, but Jill having a winter outfit as well that she uses alongside Chris just makes that outfit like 5 times better, and it's the same the other way around. Again, like the Chris one, the coat just looks so comfy, I want it so bad, and it's got this nice, perfect blue color where it can kind of look white in certain parts, but a nice blue in others. I love it. Her hair also looks really good here, with it being the RE1 Remake RE3 outfit hair, which just looks perfect. I also really like the white pants, and the mic she has on her face is a great touch. Overall, I love winter outfits in games, movies, whatever, and Jill looks freaking fantastic in hers. At number 6, I have RE5's Wesker battlesuit. Now I will say this outfit kind of loses its spark a little when you compare it to Rebecca's Wesker battlesuit. I know that's not really fair, because Rebecca just solos everybody in the slang department, but this one kind of looks basic in comparison. The blonde hair is funny to me because the only explanation for it is that Wesker just really wanted Jill to look like him, which the thought of him coming up with that and actually doing it is just really funny, but it does look really good. It doesn't feel like Jill, so when she gets her mind back at the end, it feels a bit wrong, but I think that was an intentional choice. And the battlesuit itself is really nice. I like the kind of dark bluish violet shade they went with. It even looks purple under some lighting. I do kind of wish they zipped it up a little more, just a smidge, keep the cleavage, but they don't have to be damn near hanging out. And I also like the design of the red scarab thing on her chest. Just looks neat. I will say that the design of this outfit in RE-verse I don't like at all. It looks strange. The hair looks weird, it doesn't match her head or Sasha's face. I think RE3 Jill just looks super wrong with anything but the hair she has in that game. And the colors of it just don't look as interesting to me as the RE5 version. In RE5 it can look almost multicolored in some lighting. This one is a lot more flat and doesn't have the same texture. And I'm just now realizing while recording that I forgot to include the RE5 Plague Doctor outfit from before she gets revealed. Damn it. It looks cool. I like it. It fits where she's at in the story, so I'd probably put it above the green Sega Saturn Jill outfit. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. Now on to the top 5 Jill designs. At number 5, I have the Lost in Nightmares Jill. I kinda wish Jill got the same modernized classic look that Chris got in this DLC, but I still think this look we got is really good. I would have done without the hat, and if you're gonna include it, I would have gone with something similar to her RE1 hair, because I think hair is just very important to Jill's character and her aesthetic, but I really love the zip-up blue top she got. I think it looks super good and is like the perfect Jill shade of blue that I can think of. Also, I apologize, I don't usually mention stuff like this in these videos. In fact, this is like my first time. I needed more to talk about with this design. Her butt looks really good in this outfit. I don't know what it is. This outfit isn't really sexualized at all, but it just looks very nice. What can I say? And actually, now that I'm looking, I really like her shoes as well. Those are cool. At number 4, I have the Resident Evil Revelations beach outfit, which is the same design as the last one, but without a hat and some black detailing on the top. And it's marginally better for those reasons, but I don't have anything else to say about it. At number 3, I have Jill's RE3 Remake outfit. I know this may be controversial, a lot of people don't like this design. I think that's mostly because it's not really similar at all to her RE3 Nemesis outfit. I think with maybe the exception of Claire, Jill had the most drastic change to her original appearance in the RE Engine remakes of the main characters, so I understand it, but I just think it looks really good on her and makes a bit more sense why she'd be wearing this, and I love the way it gets dirtier and grimier throughout the game. It shows visually how Jill is just going through it in this game, taking a beating again and again and again, but she pulls through, and that's why we love her. And there have been debates about, oh, is Julia Voth better? Is Sasha Zatova better? Listen guys, They're both beautiful, you can have your preferences, but let's not be barbaric here. I like Sasha in the role, I like her hair, the blue over white looks really nice, and it doesn't need to go super overboard. I actually think it's probably a good thing they didn't try to modernize the original outfit, since anything they did to it, people weren't going to like. So I'm happy with something completely new since it fits within this game. At number 2, I have the original Jill Resident Evil 3 Nemesis design. Yeah, even though I spent all that time defending the remake one, the OG is still superior. Like I said in the Leon video, while I enjoy the more realistic tone of the remakes, something about the exaggerated world of the original games where a woman is just wearing something like this on the regular while fighting man-made horrors beyond our comprehension is just so engaging to me. And the way this outfit is set up with the bright blue top and then the white thing, I don't know what it is, wrapped around her waist, which transitions into the shirt and then the brown tall boots. It's just peak character design. And it also gives her insane amounts of aura. Whenever I see a cutscene of RE3 with Jill in it, I just can't help but think, God damn, she's so cool. And it looks even better when she gets these straps around her shoulders as well, which mixes in her tactical background with the design. Man, even though I like RE3 Remake Jill, I do understand the people who feel a bit underwhelmed because this is just so damn good. The RE3 Remake version of it is okay, the tube top is way too baggy, but the addition of the gun holster on the leg is pretty neat. The RE1 Remake version of it is peak. But at number 1, this may be nostalgia talking, cause this outfit was in the second ever Resident Evil game I played, and my favorite game in the franchise overall, and my first playthrough of it was with Jill. I have the STARS uniform from the original Resident Evil. Of course, based on my rules, I am ranking the original version of this design. However, huge shout out to the RE1 Remake STARS Jill. That is the real number 1, but regardless, the OG is my favorite alongside it. I know these shoulder pads are super stupid practically and don't really make sense, but I don't care, the outfit is just so iconic. It's the most unique STARS uniform, which really highlights Jill as sort of the queen of STARS and the queen of RE. I love the shades of blue they went with the shoulder pads and beret being very dark, and the shirt being an almost gray color. And speaking of the beret, again, like the shoulder pads, it's kind of dumb, but I still love it so much, and even though it's stupid, it's cool stupid. Jill's hair also looks really good here. I know she's had a ton of different hairstyles in a bunch of games, but I still think this one's the best. And yeah, it's just classic Jill. Maybe not more iconic than her RE3 outfit because that was her game and the one everyone associates her with, but for my personal tastes, I don't think you can beat the original for now. Well, I say for now as if Capcom actually ever intends to bring Jill back in a mainline game. But that'll do it. I know this one is shorter than the other two just because Jill has a lot of nothing burger slop filler designs for some reason, so I apologize. And make sure to check out Chris Redfield Designs Ranked if you haven't already. Also let me know your favorite and least favorite Jill designs from this list in the comments down below. Subscribe and leave a like if you want, and that wraps on this one, my fellow oddities. I'll see you next time.